As a content creator, one of the things I used to struggle with a lot was getting topics that I could create content about. And it's even a bigger challenge for somebody like me who creates content on different platforms. On these different platforms, I create content in different forms. For example, I make videos on YouTube, I write articles on my blog and few other platforms. I make content on Instagram, make content on LinkedIn. I also make TikTok videos. I also give talks. You can see different forms. And having to think about different ideas for these different forms is a very big headache. For example, I make something on what is JavaScript on YouTube. And now on Instagram, I want to make what is this in Python because I've already talked about what is JavaScript on YouTube. And on LinkedIn, I have to do something different. Yeah, this can be overwhelming to even think about as a content creator. But one of the solutions that I have found and adopted that has improved my content creation process a lot is repurposing content. What do I mean by repurposing content? Let's say I make a video on what is JavaScript on YouTube. I can repurpose the information shared there, the contents of that video, and I can make out images of that information and I can share on Instagram. Based on the images that I have shared on Instagram, I can also convert it to a PDF and share on LinkedIn. And if I want, based on all of this information, I can also make a TikTok video version. And based on all of this, I can also make an article. So just for one topic, I've been able to repurpose this via different forms. Doing this has saved me a lot of mental stress, having to think about new ideas all the time and being able to serve the different audiences I have on these different platforms. Here is an example. I repurposed this IG post on JavaScript callback functions to this post on LinkedIn. And also I have a YouTube version also explaining JavaScript callback functions. This is just an example. I've done this for most other content that I have created. In fact, whenever I write articles sometimes, I also say you can find the video version on my YouTube. Even when I share my post on LinkedIn, you would also see something like you can watch the video version of this here. Repurposing content has helped me in a lot of ways. Let's say I make a post on what is JavaScript on Instagram. And based on that post, I have been able to express some information which I have organized, and also I might get feedback. Somebody might say it might be helpful to also explain this, or I did not understand what page 2 meant or page 3 meant. Based on this feedback, because I cannot edit the images on Instagram, I can make a YouTube version which would be better than the Instagram one because I have been able to collect some feedback and I have already done the initial process of organizing my thoughts together. And that is the same thing for LinkedIn. And also if I need to write an article, I already have my organized thoughts on this topic. I already have some feedback. I can apply it to the article. And it could take any order. It could be I probably did an article first and then the same process, do the same thing for YouTube, for Instagram, or wherever. So by repurposing content, I have been able to, save myself that stress of always having to think of a new idea and then start drafting out the information I want to share on this idea. I've done it on one platform already. I can easily repurpose it for different platforms. But I'm going to be honest, this is also challenging. And why do I say it is challenging? Let's say I have an Instagram post and I'm repurposing it for different platforms. There are other amazing ideas which I may have shared within that time, but I only shared one thing, which of course would also reduce my speed of learning, because let's say in a week I can learn 3 new topics or 4 new topics, but because I am repurposing, I only end up learning 1 topic or 2 topics. And also I want to say I don't repurpose everything that I create. Sometimes I only have a video and Instagram version and I'm good. Sometimes I have an article and video version and I'm good. Like, it's not everything I do that I repurpose everywhere because it can be stressful. Another challenge I've had with repurposing content too is like, I feel like I'm repeating myself in some cases. Repeating myself can be boring because, for example, if I make a video on YouTube, because that video has a bigger resolution than a TikTok screen, if I also want to make a TikTok version of that video, I would have to record it again unless I'm able to crop it to a phone resolution and I don't lose out myself or other things things in the video that I want to be seen. So in such cases, I have to record it again, repeating myself, saying the same thing that I already said, and that can be stressful. So I've also found myself in cases where I end up like repeating myself, or it's like I'm only thinking about one thing. I made a video, I'm writing an article explaining the same thing, I'm making an Instagram post explaining the same thing. It just becomes boring for me. So what I've also done to improve that is I don't repurpose immediately. I could make an article on a topic today and I repurpose it maybe next week or next 2 weeks. And one last thing I want to say about repurposing content is that I've found it so helpful that I can serve people at different platforms. I think when you make a post on LinkedIn and you say, hey, I just made a video about this, go and watch it, that can affect the user experience of that person. They were on LinkedIn scrolling, then they see that you made a video on something and now you're redirecting them somewhere else just to learn about that thing. Now, if you have maybe a very catchy title, a catchy slide, a catchy image, or it's a very interesting topic, somebody might be convinced that yes, I should go to this other platform. But if it is not very catchy, the person just keeps scrolling, they don't get to learn what you want to share because you want them to leave where they currently are. So by repurposing content, I've been able to serve people at different platforms where they see a topic, and even if I already have a video version of it, there is a LinkedIn version for those LinkedIn people. There is an Instagram version for those Instagram people. And right there on that LinkedIn version, I can also say something like, I have a video version. If you're interested, you can check this out. But if you're not interested, that's fine. I've also come to serve you the same information here on LinkedIn. So I've just found that I've been able to serve different audiences on these different platforms, on my TikTok, on my YouTube, via my articles, via my Instagram, via my LinkedIn, via different ways. There are so many other benefits of repurposing content, which I believe people have also shared their experiences about. This is how repurposing content has helped me as a content creator. And of course, it's also unveiling more interesting ideas and more interesting things that I can do with repurposing. For example, can also repurpose some of my videos to talks. That's something I'm looking to do more of in the next coming months or in the next coming years. But if you're a content creator, I hope this helps you and gives you insight you need on how to keep creating consistently and serving your audience with quality information. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share with others, and also subscribe. Peace.